There's a controversial video circulating all those junk food brands that you're endorsing. On another side, we have a video of you in a podcast, your own, I think, health podcast, where you're like, oh, I stand for health and I believe in health. So a lot of people are calling it's hypocrisy. What's your take on this?
When I was diagnosed with my autoimmune condition, I was in a very helpless and kind of lonely place. Whoever was speaking to me about it said that, okay, what's your option B? What's your plan? Like, I don't think you'll be able to be an actor anymore. And I was like, no, I'm not listening to that. Being told that you are ordinary, you are going to be ordinary, you come from ordinary. You're told not to dream, not to dare to dream when you have such an ordinary life.
So what led you to say no to so many podcasts so far? Before we begin, I want to thank Zerodha's Media Network 01 for providing me with all the resources to produce this show. Without them, none of this would have been possible. I want to start off in a typical FoodPharmer style. I stand for health, and I think so do you. Yes. Even you stand for health. But there's a controversial video circulating. There's a very, very controversial video of you circulating on social media where there are like 5-10 really, like, the poster boy of junk food.
Correct. Yes.
All those junk food brands that you're endorsing. Mm-hmm. And on another side, we have a video of you in a podcast, your own, I think, health podcast, where you're like, oh, I stand for health and I believe in health and I don't want to have junk food. So a lot of people are calling it's hypocrisy. Mm-hmm. That, on one hand, you're promoting the junk food and on the other hand, you're having a health podcast. So what's your take on this?
It's funny when you, growing up, you make a lot of mistakes and everything is online and it's permanently documented. When I entered this industry, the symbol of being successful was how many projects you have, how many brands you endorse, how many brands want your face on their products. And that was a symbol of your success. And I was not going to ask any questions. I was very happy that all of these big multinational brands wanted me as their brand ambassador. I considered it a symbol of recognition, fame, and that I have arrived. I mean, that's what everyone around told me, that I have arrived, that this is the proof. Also, that was from a very long time ago, where I myself was eating all of those things. Yeah. I mean, in my 20s, I thought I was invincible, that anything I did would have zero repercussions, would have zero effect. But today, I couldn't be more wrong about the decisions I made and also what I did to my own body. I mean, my younger self should apologize to my older self for the nonsense that I did growing up, and which is also a reason why I would love to tell my young followers to not think that they are invincible now at this age. At 20 you have so much energy, you eat everything, you do everything, and you think that you'll be absolutely fine. But I have learned the hard way that it is not. And those endorsements that are floating around are from a long time ago, a very long time ago. And to be honest, my current managerial setup, they're extremely disappointed in me because I had to let go of almost 15 brands just last year. And of course, that's crores and crores of money. So
you now no longer do all those ads?
Absolutely none. In fact, every time there's an endorsement, I vet it with almost 3 doctors
Wow.
before I endorse a product. And yes, I have given up and said no to more than 15 brands just last year. Yes.
Wow. This message, I don't think most people know about this.
I think you can, if you want to see it, it's very obvious. I want to do better. That is my goal, that every day I want to do better. I want to be better than I was yesterday. And that has been my goal for the longest time, for as long as I can remember.
Oh, that's very powerful, and thank you for opening up. I think a lot of people don't know that you no longer do these ads. So there are a lot of, people know that, okay, there are some cricketers who don't do soft drink ads and things like that. And people, praise them, but I don't think enough people know about your saying no to all these brands. And I know it's very difficult in a much smaller way. I don't do, for example, so far at least, I've not done any food brand deals. And I was so scared again that what if I make a mistake? And as a result, I just said no to everything. And I think that was also maybe retrospectively a mistake. I think I could have done some clean food brand deals at least.
But I think the point being here is that we are going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's important to let people know that we are learning with them, right? And also the health industry and what is healthy and what is not keeps changing every day. What you might think is healthy today is not tomorrow. So you can't really be so hard on yourself and also pretend to be perfect and pretend to have all the answers, because none of us do. We can only strive to do better. So I think that people already see you for who you are, and they know that your ambition is tied to purpose.
Yeah.
And not just ambition at any cost, right?
Yeah.
Not just
Conscious capitalism.
conscious capital. Oh wow, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Conscious capitalism.
Yeah, so
yes,
it's not,
absolutely.
I'm not anti-capitalism, but you have to just do
Absolutely
it you can't be mindless capitalist, you have to be conscious capitalist.
Yeah, so I probably lost all of that money last year. And in turn, I actually doubled down. I took all of my own money and I put them into a whole bunch of startups that I believe in. And that might work tomorrow, might not work tomorrow. But I got to build something that was tied to my purpose. And tomorrow, if it becomes big and successful, I did take the risk at a seed level.
So you've obviously been in a lot of TV interviews, but you've not really, as far as I've seen, not really been on any major podcast. So what led you to say no to so many podcasts so far?
We all know what has been clickbait for me over the last few years, even if I've never said anything, it was never my intention to. So I'd rather stay away and not fuel it, not give it wings. This podcast, I know, is also because it's centered around health and because it's so different, and I get to not be an actor and be a host, is like one host with another host on health. So I think that's something that I'm passionate about. And
thanks for saying yes to this.
And also I love what you're doing, and I think it's very important what you're doing, and I thought that it's time we talk. Rethinking India. Big deal, no? I feel like it was just yesterday that I was like, who's this person? Follow. He seems interesting. And I think I DM'd you, didn't I?
You were, I think, following me, and I didn't know you were following me, and it was a pretty big deal for me, of course. And then I suddenly saw you resharing a story with Label Padega India. I started Label Padega India, and you suddenly put up a post of Label Padega India. And I was like, wow, what is this, this major celebrity resharing my post and resharing my movement, Label Padega India, because I was trying my best to get it big.
Oh, it got really big. I think what you're doing is extremely special. It's also very hard. I know of all the lawsuits. I think I know quite a bit about what has happened and what you have had to endure to get to where you are right now, which is absolutely deserving. It's not easy every day to wake up and go to war, is it?
It's not easy. Yeah, every day there's something new. Really? And the challenge is that I can only speak about 20-30% of what I actually go through. So far, whenever I make a video, I never blur logos. I never, lawyers recommended me take a rhyming word. So don't say the name of the brand, say something rhyming.
Oh, right.
But I never do that. I always take the names of the brands, which is why I get into trouble a lot. But sometimes they go very extreme. They hire like really senior lawyers. They charge like 4-5 lakhs for like a 20-minute hearing. And unless I also hire someone senior, I'll lose the cases. So I also need to hire someone senior. Thankfully, there are some lawyers who work for a much more subsidized rate for me. But it's not easy at all. Yeah. Even a lot of parental pressure as well. Like, on the good days, they're like, oh, you are shooting with Samantha, and they'll be like very happy. But then the next day I get something legal and then like, why are you doing this? Go back to your job in the US. Thing like that.
What made you, how did you decide to do this, to take this much on? It's not easy. I mean, a little bit of trolling and sometimes I can feel a bit helpless, and this is not even trolling, this is the real deal, going to court.
So on a philosophical level, my belief is that my life's goal is to try to do the most good I can do. And in order to do the most good I can do, I have to solve a big problem. So what are the biggest problems in the world? One of which is health. When you use the word healthcare, most people think of hospitals and medicines. But hospitals and medicines is not healthcare, that's sick care. Once you are sick, you go to the hospital and you go to you take a medicine.
True.
I wanted to focus on healthcare.
Right, I feel like this podcast, I'm going to be interviewing you more than you interviewing me. When did you, like usually there's a catalyst, right? Like something that drives you to make such a drastic change to your life, like moving from the US. Like I know what was my catalyst, but what was yours? I mean, did you have something on a personal level affect you?
When I was in the US, I was working at a consulting company, and our clients were major food companies. All the food companies that I criticize now were my clients back then. I was advising them.
No way.
Yeah.
See, now I know the story. I love the story. So you were an advisor.
Essentially, yes. And to all these food companies that are now...
What kind of advisor?
Essentially, just a consultant. Like, they come to you with problems and like, that why is my sales not growing? Why is my market not growing?
Like a strategist.
Strategy consultant.
Ah, right, okay.
And I used to notice, like, when we are coming up with strategies and when they should even present their strategy, they should often say all their growth in the next 10, 20 years is coming from South Asia, like mainly India. So all these junk food companies, they realize that the US and Europe market is saturated because they've already grown as much as they can. So now they want to dump all their junk food in India in the next 10, 20 years. So I wanted to, I realized, okay, now they're going to pollute India with all their junk food. They already have started in the last 10, 15 years, but now they're going to further increase. And I have the knowledge and the privilege to fight against some of these companies. And I know some of the insider information as well. So why not do something about it? I also studied nutrition 10 years ago. A lot of people don't know about this.
Oh, wow.
So I have some background in nutrition as well. So I can use that knowledge to my advantage and sort of expose these companies and showcase the truth to the people.
Right. Wow. That is a lovely story.
Yeah. So I use my whiteboard in all my videos, so I thought I'll get it here as well.
Full nerd you are. No, I love it. I love it.
That's the consulting side and the MBA side coming here. So yeah, everyone knows you for your movies. So everyone knows all the movies you've done. I want to talk about all the rest of the stuff which you are doing, because a lot of even maybe your hardcore fans also may not know some of these.
Right.
So if you can just tell, these are some of the things I got from Wikipedia.
I think my first venture was Saki.
Okay.
So Saki is a clothing brand. It was my first ever venture.
Okay.
And it still exists today.
Nice.
So
that's pretty difficult for a first venture.
For a first venture to exist, I've been told. So I've also been told that not many celeb clothing brands stand the test of time.
Yeah.
And we did go through a hard time with Saki, and I actually invested my own money as well into Saki.
How long has it been?
I think just like a month before COVID hit. Yeah, so it was hard times. Yeah, that's Saki.
Okay.
Next is Ekam Learning Center, which is early learning. My mom was a teacher. I do believe that everything we do as an adult, so many things that we do as adults, are linked so closely to our experiences as children. And it was really important for me that I had some part to play in these formative years for kids. So I think everything that is on this board has a lot of meaning and connection to my life. Being told that you are ordinary, you are going to be ordinary, you come from ordinary. You're told that, right?
Yeah.
You're told not to dream, not to dare to dream when you have such an ordinary life. In fact, when I meet many kids who come from a simple background, and they always are very scared of dreaming because of the disappointment. The India that we are living in today is dream your biggest dream.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are living examples of the fact that
100%.
you dream your biggest dream.
Yeah. So a dream should be bigger than the fear of failure.
Yes. Every single one of these steps has been fear first,
Yeah.
fear of failure first, and then the next step, right? I never went into any of these ventures with absolute confidence that I am going to be so successful, because every penny that I've earned to put into these companies has been my hard-earned money, come from nothing.
And you're not coming from a movie background or anything.
Yeah, no, I have. In fact, I couldn't study further, and hence I was modeling a little bit in school and in college, and so this path just happened, not by choice, but by having not many options.
Wow. It's kind of crazy how not having options can lead to almost like, at least publicly, it seems like a dream life.
Right.
But it's crazy, right? Like, if you potentially had a lot of options, then you potentially may have been doing something completely different.
Completely different, yeah. So sometimes we question things that happen to us, and we wonder why these bad things or these unfair things happen to us, but sometimes they're just like a miracle waiting to happen. I'm sure when you first made that decision to shift from the US, and probably the initial set of like brick bats, you must have thought, why me, right? It must have felt like your whole world was crashing.
Yeah, no, but then, yeah, exactly, like, you just went down, because I left all my money. I left my, like, you spend 13 years to get a visa and things like that. Like, people try to get. Gave up the visa, gave up all of that, and then you suddenly here. And not only did I get those legal things, I was scared I'll never get a job again, because you Google me.
Oh, yes.
The first thing that comes up when you Google me is, this guy makes a video on this brand, and that brand that claimed my video is not scientific. So the first link that came up was, this influencer. I was not an influencer, they suddenly called me an influencer. This influencer has made a video which is not scientific. So no company would want to hire me. So I was also scared that, what will I do now?
Oh, yeah. Oh my gosh.
So it was pretty challenging, but
scary.
It worked out as like it worked out for you as well.
So what do you think you told yourself then? Like when you were fearful, when you were low, you also have a family. So what were you telling yourself and telling them then?
I backed myself a lot. So I have made a lot of risks. I've taken a lot of risks in the past as well. For example, 10 years ago, I had gotten into IIM Bangalore, which is, of course, a very great college. And it was very difficult for me to get in. Like, I studied for 6-8 months, and I got in, and then I decided not to go. And instead, I was like, I'm going to write a book. So it's like, just like, it sounds absurd.
How old were you?
I was 22.
You wanted to write a book when you were 22?
Yeah.
On what?
Actually, I did write it.
You wrote it?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't read it. I'm so sorry.
No worries. I actually have a copy somewhere.
Yeah, I need a copy of this book.
I just...
What a 22-year-old wanted to say to the world.
It was a self-help comedy book. So it was a philosophical book with some humor. So I had hashtags and memes like how the online world is, but it was a very serious book. So I had one chapter on religion, one chapter on death, one chapter on life. So the first chapter was life, the last chapter was death.
I need this book.
Yeah. 1 second, let me try to find it. I think it's there.
Oh, wow. After how long are you seeing this book?
Long time.
Oh, wow. It's actually a really cool cover.
Thank you.
it's still relevant, right? Discover self-economics. Seriously funny guide to living the good life. And you wrote this at 22.
One quick thing I'll show you. I have a whole chapter on nutrition label.
At 22?
Yeah, and a lot of people think I just made this video and I went viral. What people don't know is that 10 years ago also I had the same message.
See, this is a really important, at the time where everyone is trying to, okay, see, this person is successful doing this, let's mimic and let's like join this race and try to like recreate what this person has done and make a business out of it. But when this happens, when you go to the 22-year-old Revant and you see that he had like ingredients and dietary like chart, like it just feels like there is hope and there are people whose lives are connected to their purpose.
I think I'm hogging the story and making it about
I love it because everybody knows about me, facts, lies, everything. Not many people know about interesting things like this, which is important.
I think most of my followers as well don't know about this book.
Oh wow, nice.
So we spoke about Saki, Ekam. Now what is the next thing you did?
Pratyusha.
Okay, and what's that?
Pratyusha Foundation is a foundation for kids and women. And we deal with emergency cases like, when no one's ready for a sudden accident or a sudden health issue, especially when you're trying to make ends meet. And I started it 2012 or 2013 when I started it because I remember my mother always giving even when we didn't have. And I thought that she would be proud of me. It was a part of her. It was a piece of her. My mom is very soft, very naive, but I think she has had a very strong effect on me. I think my feminine, caring qualities come from her.
So what did you do next?
During COVID, do you remember there was this fear of not having food, not getting groceries, not being allowed. And I was wondering, how can we be so dependent and not be self-sufficient? And I was like scrounging the internet and I found this hydroponics system online where you could grow your own food even if you were staying in like high-rise buildings and in apartments. You didn't have to have like a big garden and soil, so you could do hydroponics. And I was like, this is interesting, let me see. And it also was really quick, right? Like in a week you get so much produce. So I ordered this system online and it came home and I started growing my own food, lettuce and kale. And
wow.
I started giving the entire community because there's so much food and I loved it.
Nice.
That's Urban Kisan. So today they are doing, I think, they are doing really well for themselves, and I think in the next year or two, like they're going IPO.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah. So
I call myself FoodPharmer, but I think you are now also pretty much a farmer as well.
Yeah, I know. A city farmer.
Yeah, city farmer, urban farmer. Okay. So this is farming essentially.
Right. Food.
Food.
Right. So, Secret Alchemist is aromatherapy, and when I was going through my health condition, I'm going currently as well, I traveled the world and I realized that in the West they were using a lot of aromatherapy for healing because it penetrates cellular level very quickly and it provides relief quite quickly. People here assume that aromatherapy is fragrance and body washes, but it's so much more than that. It has.
How does the healing work again?
Aromatherapy oils, they are very quickly penetratable and swift acting.
Okay.
And not many people know about this.
Okay.
People still associate aromatherapy with just fragrances and beauty care and you know.
So it's more than just that.
This Secret Alchemist is much, much more.
Great.
Chennai Super Champs is just last week has made a splash. I bought a pickleball team, the Chennai team.
Pickleball is really trending right now, right?
Pickleball. I think this ties into my larger dream of getting India to move, much like yours is about health and movement. Mine is too, and I realized that with Take 20, I was focused and concentrating on a niche audience.
Can we just explain in Take 20 for those who don't know first?
Take 20 is my podcast on health.
Health podcast.
The initial idea was to keep it under 20 minutes because nobody has the time.
You know, earlier the idea behind ReThink India was also to make it less than 20 minutes.
And
but
how is
just
that
never,
working out for you?
not a single episode has been less than 45 minutes at least.
Oh.
So not at all.
Thankfully, you didn't name it Take 20.
Yeah.
Stuck with the name, and you have 1 hour episodes.
Yeah.
And the last is the Tralala Productions. We just finished our first film. It has been quite the experience producing my first film. It will be releasing this summer. It's a comedy.
Okay.
I like any first-time producer with like stars in her eyes. I think the idea is to like change the world.
It's a good question actually. You said you enjoy watching comedy and things like that. I always wanted to ask an actor, especially an actor of your caliber, that do actors tend to watch movies? Like, do you find this is like fake, or
I was wondering. I have asked myself that question. When you know every single detail about how this movie is made, do you still enjoy it? But I do. I really enjoy watching films. Yeah, I wonder how, but I think that's the power of cinema. Once you are immersed in it, it leaves. I think that's why we are so obsessed, right, with actors and films, and because this medium is just magical.
So you mentioned that you have your own podcast, Take 20, and not a lot of people know about that. Mm-hmm. Like, when a celebrity would start a podcast, I would imagine they would get other celebrities. They would get other people from the movie industry and they would chat about whatever, movie industry or gossip or whatever. Not only did you start a podcast, but you also started a podcast on health, and you get doctors and health experts. So what led you to start this?
When I was diagnosed with my autoimmune condition, I was in a very helpless and kind of lonely place with my health. And I did not know where to begin. When you get sick, right? Like you just think that you can take a pill for a week and you'll be fine, because that's how it's been all your life. Whatever the sickness is, whatever the illness is, you just go, you take a pill for 1 week. But this is not like that. It's chronic. You are told that it's incurable. You are told that it's lifelong. You're told that it's going to get worse. And this was at a point where I was raging to, I had my whole life in front of me, and so many dreams and ambitions and career, and so I want to sign this film and work with that person and work with and everything was came to a grinding halt. And I felt really helpless. And whoever was speaking to me about it said that, okay, what's your option B? What's your plan? I don't think you'll be able to be an actor anymore. What's your option B? And I was like, no, I'm not listening to that. I was like, what do you mean option B? No, there is no option B. I'm going to beat this. But it took me a long time for me for it to sink in that it was not going to get better in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It was going to take years. And it was a lonely journey. And I went down many rabbit holes of what worked, what didn't work, many months and years. It went into years. And I realized that some days were so hard, and I realized I don't want anyone to go through what I'm going through right now. I really don't want them to. There is a lot of health gyan on the internet. Yes, there is an overload of health gyan on the internet. But I felt like I was going to do it not from the position of being an actor, but from being someone who's going through a health condition myself. So that's the difference, right? This is not just a podcast. It's a podcast. I'm a student myself, and I want to learn from people who have helped me, from things that have worked for me, and so that no one has to feel that helpless like I did. Which is why there are no sponsors, and there will never ever be any sponsors on Take 20. No doctor needs to ever pay to come on my podcast. They just have to make sense, and their protocols just have to work, and should have worked on me as well, because most of the things that I talk about on the podcast are protocols that I have followed myself, that have worked for me, and I'm in a position right now where I'm not just surviving, I'm thriving. Like I feel better and more energetic than I have ever. My idea is to not tell you that this is the way. My idea is to give you that power where you become the captain of your ship, and you're not the innocent bystander passenger in a ship that somebody else decides. No one should be deciding for you. You should be given that information. You should be able to make informed choices for yourself with that information that is given to you.
So it was basically very purpose driven, that because you were going through, of course, all your health issues, you wanted to try to make sure other people have some support when they go through their health issues.
Yeah, and also like you said, right? You said that why even get there? Why even get to that position of being sick if you can stay healthy forever?
So healthcare, not sick care.
Yeah, healthcare, not sick care.
So what does health, we've spoken a lot about health, but what does being healthy mean for you?
Somehow being healthy is associated with an extreme lifestyle.
Yeah, you wake up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
You eat
like
you eat only salads.
Yeah, but for me it's a way of life now, and even if I wanted to, I can't eat a donut, right? I don't think I can. No offense to donuts or people who make donuts, but I don't think that I would enjoy it anymore.
I remember you WhatsApped me once a video of a dark chocolate, you were watching some videos on how to avoid heavy metals in dark chocolates, and it's a very, very scientific, nerdy video.
Yeah.
So do you actually, go into that much detail before picking your food, and are you like a nerd when it comes to food, and do you read labels and things like that?
See, I think you have to teach me to read labels even better, because they are really smart.
Yeah, very, very smart.
And sometimes I feel it's so confusing that I'd rather just eat whole foods and eat fruits and vegetables and nothing from...
That's, I think, the best case. I think ideally, as much as possible, you should do that, but unfortunately, you can't only do that.
They hide behind numbers and codes, and how is any normal layman supposed to, dissect that? It's not. So I think what you're doing is great. It's wonderful. You have to teach me also, an
100%.
in-depth class soon.
I'm doing one class called Label Sikhega India.
Sign up.
Yeah.
And when you go and pick a slab of dark chocolate, you assume that you're doing something good for yourself. You're picking the healthier option. So imagine my horror to find out that the healthier option, the darker the chocolate, the more the amount of heavy metals and more toxins.
No, that's the most unfortunate part, and that's why I fight so much with these brands. If someone wants to eat junk, I'm fine with them choosing junk.
Exactly.
But the problem is when you want to eat healthy and then the brands deceive you and mislead you, that is what is annoying.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If you're junk food, call yourself junk.
Right.
It's fine if you sell
Yeah,
chocolate.
I will eat that maybe once a week. Knowing fully well, knowing what I'm putting into my body, I will okay, it's okay. I can eat this twice a week. But healthy food I'm consuming every day, thinking that I'm doing my body good, when I'm being lied to, is definitely not this.
No, not one step. Yeah, and that's the annoying part, is that at least when you have white bread, you know it's junk, so you have 2 slices. When you have brown bread, you think it's better, and then you have 3 slices, but actually it's equally bad as the white bread.
Exactly.
Often, and that so many more examples like that.
I ate a slab of dark chocolate. Dark chocolate. I'm doing good for my body, but no. Yeah. So people need to be aware more. I think just more whole foods, fruits, vegetables.
So I don't even have 5% or maybe not even 1 or 2% of the fame or popularity that you have, but still.
Apparently you do.
But still, I still noticed a change in my own life when I got slightly popular. For example, a random incident. One of my closest friends from school, every time he used to show up 1.5, 2 hours late. Whenever the plan is, if it's an 8 p.m. plan, he'll show up at 10 p.m. If it's a 10 p.m. plan, he'll show up at midnight. But once I went back to Calcutta, once I became moderately famous, and he showed up on time. But for someone like you who's, had way more of, way more fame or way more, whatever word you want to use, popularity or success, how did that change? Because I'm very curious because you're not coming from a film background. Mm-hmm. So how did your life change when it was pre-fame versus post-fame?
I do believe that fame comes with entitlement as a byproduct. And I'm not going to pretend that doesn't exist. I don't know if I'm enabling it, but it exists, yes. I hope I'm not enabling it. I hope I give people the room to be themselves and speak freely in front of me, or tell me when I'm being an idiot or tell me I'm wrong. I do believe I have this set of people around me. Yes, I do believe that because they have been the same people in my life since I was a child. My best friends are still the same best friends I have from school, college.
Are you still in touch with them?
Absolutely, my best friends are still the same. In fact, you don't see me much in movie gatherings or.
Yeah, actually, now that you think of it, I don't remember seeing you in any of those videos and parties and things like that.
Yeah, I don't go out much. I'm very much a homebody.
So, as an actor, do you feel like you need to portray like a perfect life? Like you did mention that you're not perfect in the beginning, and no one is, and everyone makes mistakes. But do you think like you need to pretend to be sometimes the burden of perfection?
This is a generation that is so digitally literate that they can sniff out inconsistency or
They'll have a video trending. This is what she said when she was early 20s. Now this is what she says now.
yeah. But you can't carefully project. Which people are trying to do these days, carefully project
particular image.
A particular image, yes, very carefully curated particular image, and you're working with a generation that is far smarter than you. Yeah. Don't even try. Yeah.
So you have to be real, and that's what the audience also wants you to be real. But unfortunately, sometimes they also want you to be perfect. That's the challenge, I guess, that they want.
I think my audience has stopped asking me to be perfect. They've given up. They've given up on ever expecting perfection from me. And they're like, okay, today she's doing good. Tomorrow she's going to make a boo-boo, and we're okay with that. So I think that I've carefully prepared them to expect both, and also that takes a lot of pressure off of me. I mean, I don't sit here pretending to be perfect. I've made more mistakes than most people have in their lives, and I'm not proud of them, or I don't know the situation in which I made those mistakes as well. If I could correct them, I would. But all I can do right now is apologize for any of the mistakes that I have made and commit to doing better. Yeah.
I faced in my own level like that pressure that I'm fighting for social causes. So there is a connotation of this guy stands for the truth. And that I found very, very lot of pressure on me that, what do I do?
Right.
Whether it's a brand deal or whether it's anything, is so much pressure. And I also, myself also obviously want to be accurate. I don't want to, whatever research I'm presenting to the audience, I want it to be accurate. But there's always been so much pressure that what if I make a video on this food product and what if I'm wrong?
I think what you did recently, you put up a post saying, guys, I'm feeling extremely pressurized,
yeah.
right? You put it on You allowed your audience to feel like your family and say, help me make this call.
Yeah.
And I think I respect that.
Oh,
I
thank
like
you.
that. You are making me responsible for your decision as well.
Yeah.
So help me make this decision. I don't know. I don't pretend to know that I know everything. I feel like I should do it, but also there's a part of me that feels like I shouldn't do it. You help me make the call, which is a great thing to do.
So that's what I plan to do in the future as well. Anytime I'm confused, or even if I'm not confused, I want the audience to be a part of my journey. So I'll just put up a poll. Whatever they decide, I'm going to do that. Obviously, there'll be some sensibilities of my own as well. Like, for example, the show name itself, ReThink India. Earlier, it was going to be Rethink Everything. That was the name of the show.
Right.
Then I gave 3-4 options to the audience. Rethink India, Rethink Everything. And 1 or 2 more options. Dreamers and Thinkers was another option. And then they picked Rethink India.
Oh, lovely.
And they voted.
And I think that is the best name, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not too esoteric, and it feels like a movement.
So we spoke a little bit about your own production house, Tralala?
Tralala, yeah.
Tralala. So I had read somewhere that you all pay equally to both men and women.
Yeah.
So how's that been, and like what led you to do that?
I mean, it's natural, right?
Yeah.
Like, I've been in many films where you're not really sure why, but you are paid dramatically different salaries for the same number of days and the same kind of role. I understand the big films where it's hero driven and the heroes pull people to the theater, and I do understand that there is a difference, but there were also films where it was an equally demanding role, and there was this stark difference, right? So, I mean, 15 years I've been in the industry, and what I try to do right now is to not repeat the mistakes that were apparent to me, right? That in my lifetime I can't do anything about my situation, but I can do something about the future. And if I don't, who will? Like, you have to put your weight behind things that bother you. I do believe that you will find your purpose in the things that bother you. That has been my mantra, that my purpose is in the things that bother me. And everything that I am building is around things that bother me. I've always wanted to know, do you feel the difference that you are making? Like, do people come to you and tell you that they've changed this and that about their lives?
Yeah, like all the time, and I've been very fortunate, but like especially when I'm in an airport or somewhere there, like a lot of people will come and like, I was giving my grandfather this particular packaged food, thinking it will help them. But after I came across a Label Padega India movement, I stopped giving that and I started giving my grandfather something else. And now his health is better. So there are a lot of messages like that all the time, that a lot of parents message me all the time that they were giving this particular product to their kids, thinking it will make their kid grow taller. And now they realize it's just filled with sugar. So there are a lot of thousands of messages like that which come in all the time. One of my sweetest messages which I've ever gotten is a mother said she named her child Revant.
No, really?
Yeah.
That is so sweet.
And she was like, I like the courage and bravery that you have, and I want my son to have the same bravery and courage. So she named her child Revant, and she sent me an email. Yeah, so that was very sweet. But yeah, it's been very amazing that these kind of messages. Also, one other thing, it's sort of funny. I have unofficially become the food safety man of India or something. So anytime someone is in a restaurant and they get a wrong order, suppose they ordered something veg but they got non-veg by mistake, they'll email me. Or suppose they got or they'll get a hair in their food, or they'll get an insect in their food. So during lunch hours and during dinner hours, I don't check my phone because from 12 to 2, I get at least 20 emails that I got an insect.
That's hilarious. You have become a food safety officer of India. No.
The number of...
I find this hilarious. That's it. I know who to email now.
Yeah.
If my order is wrong.
If you get a cockroach, I am the guy.
Can I announce your email ID on this podcast?
Yeah, sure.
If anything.
FoodPharmer@gmail. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that.
But I'm not joking. I have seen more cockroaches than probably most people have ever seen because you open my email, cockroach, insect. Sometimes,
That's hilarious.
sometimes it's even like on Twitter, especially people tag me when they have something, they're angry with something. So their food will come 1 hour late. And they'll tag me and they'll tag the CEO of the delivery company. Oh, why is my food 1 hour late? And they expect the company to take it.
I really think you should post one post of all of this because this is hilarious. You have to post this side as well.
Yeah, I've never posted this.
This is hilarious. I mean, makes you so, it like humanizes you, right? like sometimes also you people see you as this larger than life figure and then suddenly something you do like humanizes you and makes you so like relatable. And this is one of those incidents.
I also want to add one more thing. Till date, I have never made a post against a company when I get all these emails. Like, when there's a hair or an insect, I never make any. Because I know that this is an unintentional mistake.
Yeah.
If you sell 1 lakh units, there will be 2-3 units which by chance may have a hair or an insect. I only criticize companies for intentional mistakes where they know they are doing a fraud but they're still doing it. This insect or a hair is natural, it's going to happen if you sell so much volume.
I agree, absolutely.
No, but on that note, we can thank you.
That's a good way to end it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Samantha.
FoodPharmer@gmail.com. Hair, cockroach, any kind of irregularities in your food, please contact FoodPharmer@gmail.com.
Can I start forwarding you those emails? I'll have an auto forward, send it to you.
Oh gosh, that is the funniest thing though. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Samantha. It was amazing and
Thank you.
great chat.
And big fan and keep doing the good work that you do.
And let's do
looking
something big together as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. In today's age, the reality of being a celebrity is a bit of an irony. On one hand, people want you to be real. And on the other hand, they want you to be perfect. But we often forget that actors are people just like us. They make mistakes and they learn and grow from them. In our conversation today, Samantha opened up about her sides that most people don't know about her and how now, after years of being in the industry, grappling through her own health issues, she has pursued ventures that are rooted in her values and not what others expect. I want to end today's episode with a line that she said today. Put your weight behind what bothers you, and that's where you will find your purpose.